All right, here we go. It is my honor to introduce the legendary JJ Fad. Welcome to VladTV.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
It's a long time coming.
Yes.
It's a long time
Yes.
coming. We finally did it. And I want all three of you to introduce yourselves, please.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sassy C.
I'm MCJB.
And yo, this Baby D.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, this is our first time sitting down together. I want to start in the beginning. So, you guys formed in 1985, originally as a quintet. Uh-huh. How did the group originally come together?
Okay, it was like 1987, late 1987.
Okay.
We came together. I wanted to start a group to represent the West Coast, a female group. So I held auditions in my mom's den. Okay. And Baby D's cousin, who was my best friend at the time in high school, said that she had a little cousin who knew how to beatbox. And I was like, no females beatbox. So yeah, that cannot be true. And she's like, no, seriously. And I was like, okay. So she came to the audition and she brought some of her friends. And she absolutely blew me away. I was just like, oh, gotta have her. Gotta have her. So she joined. And then 3 of her friends joined along with her. 2 of her friends.
Correct.
2 of her friends. And then I had a DJ that was my friend. So it was me, the DJ that was my friend, and then Baby D and 2 of her friends. So that made the 5.
Okay. So you guys start forming as a group. And was everyone already rapping, or did you start rapping after the group was formed?
Oh no, we were already rapping.
Okay.
Like she said, when I came with my girls, we did talent shows, breakdancing, mobbing, at the time. So we was doing everything.
They were a crew.
Yes, the Cautious crew. Yep.
Okay, so you guys form as a 5-person group. And when did you start recording first?
We had Supersonic first. Baby D grew up in Louisiana, and the girls that she brought with her were also from Louisiana. So they came up with Supersonic as the title. Didn't have all of the track yet because we each wrote our own part, but they had some of it already down. So when they let me hear it, I was like, that's bomb.
Yeah,
that's going to be the first single.
Right, and the track was actually my beatbox, so
Right.
we didn't have a track
No
yet,
music.
but I was the track.
Okay. Well, at one point, Arabian Prince got in the mix.
Yes.
Okay, and you were dating him.
I don't think we were dating, but we were good friends.
Okay, all right.
We were good friends.
That's your story.
I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to it. Okay, all right.
Hey, it's been a long time. I don't remember back that far. But no, we've always been super, super close. So I introduced him to the girls when we started the group, and he's the one who came with us to the studio and actually laid it down with the 5 girls.
Okay. One of you was dating Dr. Dre also, right?
Plead the 5th.
No?
I don't know nothing.
Nothing about that? Okay. All right. That's just what I heard.
Wait for the biopic.
Wait for the biopic.
There
Okay.
you go.
So you guys put it together. You guys put together some songs. Now, Supersonic originally was the B-side to Anotha Ho.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. This was actually a diss track. Mm-hmm. Now, you guys kind of reworked the chorus from Queen's "Another One Bites the Dust."
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And on that song, a few girls get it.
Yes.
Roxanne Shante, The Real Roxanne, Salt and Pepper, and Sparky D.
Yes.
Why'd you decide to diss other girls coming out?
Well, at the time, dissing was in. So it was like, that's how we're going to get our feet wet. Let's do a diss record. So we knew of them, and other people knew of them. So it was like LL had his diss going, and like everybody was dissing at the time. So we feel, well, that's how we were going to get in. Like that's what played a part of us. Just let's try it.
Yeah, it was like there was never anything personal at all. Mm-hmm. We were just wanting to get noticed, and the way we thought in the beginning to get noticed was to just start dissing everybody, because that way everybody'd be like, "Oh, did you hear that? Oh, did you hear that?" So that was the way that we thought at the time that we could get our feet in the door.
Yeah, and I actually heard that song for the first time because I got introduced to you guys through Supersonic.
Yes.
Right.
So as I'm doing my research this morning, I'm going through the catalog and I listened to Anotha Ho, and there was this one verse in there that says, "A is for apple, J is for Jack. Roxanne Shante has no hair in the back."
She's bald. That was sad.
It was so sad. And the funny thing is, we're friends.
I've interviewed Roxanne Shante. She's dope.
She is.
She is. She really is.
And a great person.
Yes, absolutely great person.
And we don't know, that lady probably had long hair at the time or whatever. It was just a rhyme. You know, didn't mean no harm.
And then there was another line, Sparky D, she's so fat, when she sees food, she will attack.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm listening to this going like, ooh, I know this was, y'all had some girls mad out of this one.
We did.
Well, before you guys became cool, and I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and also Salt and Pepper got it.
Yeah.
The real Roxanne got it. What happened as you guys start to tour later on and you would run into these girls that you were dissing?
I think the only people that we actually ran into later on was Salt and Pepper. And they snubbed us a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
They did.
They were mad?
I'm going to be totally honest. They snubbed.
But I don't really think very many people heard that song.
Right. And that's what I was going to say.
That was the whole gist of it in the beginning, was to have that and get noticed, but it didn't really happen. Supersonic was the hit.
Took over,
and then the suggestion was to put that out.
But they heard it. I was trying to say they heard it. So that, I mean, you know, and then as time went on, you know, they realized these girls there's nothing personal.
Yeah.
You know, they're cool girls. I mean, I even interviewed Salt I used to work at a radio station. I interviewed her for the radio station, and she's awesome. We have a lot in common. So
Nice.
she's dope.
Nice. Okay, so you guys put together this 2-song single. Arabian Prince produces it. Mm-hmm. And I guess originally, you know, Ruthless wasn't really off the ground yet. So originally it was released on Dream Team Records.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which was like the hot LA label at the time.
Yeah.
And, but I guess there were some problems with the label.
No problems.
No?
No
Because I heard the
problems.
label started kind of,
No.
no?
No
Okay.
problems. We just were wanted by another label.
Ruthless.
Yes.
Yep, Eric came in the door and it just changed the whole dynamics of the whole situation.
Yeah.
It was just, I want your girls. And it was no hard feelings at all. It was just like a money move.
Yeah, it was a transaction, basically.
That was it.
So,
Okay.
I mean, we laugh all the time because we were like, oh, we were for sale to the highest bidder.
Yeah,
But
One
basically.
contender.
yeah. So we, you know, we laugh because that's basically how it went. You know, he had Eric had a conversation with Rudy Pardee and discussed taking us over. And by the end of the day, we were on Ruthless.
Right.
Okay. And at the time, there was no Eazy-E album.
No.
There was no NWA album.
No.
You know, we were basically, this is just a brand new label
Up and
started
coming.
by Eazy-E
Correct.
with Jerry Heller.
Yes.
Working in Eazy-E's mother garage.
Yes.
Studio. That was the
Compton.
studio
Okay.
at first.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about your first meeting with Eazy-E.
It was there at Rudy Party's house when we first met with him, and he told him he wanted us. That was like the first.
Mm-hmm.
So we got with him, and we got with Rudy Party. We all sat at Rudy's house, and we talked over like, how would you girls like to go with him? You know, we was a little skeptical at first. Like Rudy was just like a father to us. You know, it was like we don't want to just leave like that because it was no hard feelings. It was no bad grass at all. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like, well, you know, he's more advanced and he's going this way and he might get you guys. So he kind of coached us into like, come on, nudged us. And then it was like, oh, okay, you know, we'll go. Then we had to sit down at Hamburger Hamlet with Jerry and Eric.
Wow.
Yeah.
And ordered all this food and showed us like just A, B, C, D, and lawyers came in and what you guys think about
was.
this. And we went for
They
it.
basically gave us their game plan, like why they wanted us, what they wanted from us, what was our vision. I mean, the thing that I liked most is that he always let us be who we were. They didn't try to change us into anybody. They were just like, what's your vision? What do you want to do? What, you know, how do you want to be portrayed? And so it was really good to have options like that at such a young age.
Well, Jerry Heller had been around for a while.
Yes.
Right.
You know, he had worked with rock groups and everything else
Yeah.
like that. Eric, not so much.
No.
He was,
Right.
He was a street pharmacist.
Yeah.
Right. And he needed to do something with that street pharmacist's money.
Right. Did you guys know him at all before or heard about him or no?
No.
This was brand new. Mm-hmm. Okay. And where were you guys from at the time?
Baby D and I are from Rialto, California.
Okay.
I was from Los Angeles.
Okay. So you guys were not in Compton. You guys were
No.
not in that environment, not around the gangs and,
Nope.
and everything else like that. You guys were more
We were the girls next door.
girls next door. Okay. So you guys signed to Ruthless. And, later on, Ruthless had their relationship with Priority, but you guys weren't on Priority.
Right.
You guys were on Atco, was it?
Yes,
Atco.
which is a subdivision of Atlantic.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did that deal come together?
Atco wanted us. They had heard about Supersonic, and Jerry and Eazy were looking for a distribution deal.
Right.
And they wanted us first. So Jerry and Eric met with them before we were even brought into the picture, and then we finally ended up meeting with them, and they signed us. And they were a new record distribution that was just starting under Atlantic, like a little subdivision of Atlantic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're WEA, Warner Electra Atlantic, and Atco was like a subdivision under that was releasing freestyle music, dance music, and we just kind of fit right into that genre.
Okay. So you guys signed to Ruthless through Atco, but there's 5 girls in the group.
No.
By that time, it was just 3.
Right.
Okay.
By the time we even got to Rudy Pardee, there was 3.
3.
Aha.
Yes.
Okay.
We got the Rudy party with 2.
There you go.
No, we got the
That
Rudy party with
That is true.
And then he introduced us to Sassy.
That
Okay.
is so true.
Well,
You're
because I
right.
guess the other girls felt like they should be making more money,
Yes.
but there's 5 people in the group.
Exactly.
The money is not pouring in. There's no
Right.
hit singles yet.
It was no
So
hits.
they left for money reasons, basically?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a move they probably regret
Oh,
to this
I'm
day.
sure.
Did you ever run into them like later on in life?
Maybe Dee's
I do.
friends
I'm
with-
still friends with them.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Are they at all bitter over the situation, or?
Not bitter. But it's cordial. I mean, it was their decision. You know, it was just
Yeah.
like, you can't be mad at something like, okay, I chose to walk away. I didn't want to be in the group no more, So we are definitely still cool.
And they're probably happy because they are writers on Supersonic. So every time they use our song for something, they get paid.
Aha.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I'm sure that they're happy in that aspect.
Okay, so you're on Ruthless. You have Supersonic, and Arabian Prince produced it. But I guess once you guys got on Ruthless, Dre and Yella got co-production credit.
Dre did, not Yella. Dre did because he actually took the whole bass line, changed it all up, changed the whole sound. Same, basic beat, but, Dre put that magic touch on it and added a little more bass and just kind of rearranged and redid the whole thing. So the production credits go to Dr. Dre and Arabian Prince.
Aha. What was it like being in the studio with Dre during that time?
A drill sergeant. Sure. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
I've heard
He's a
these stories.
perfectionist, so.
Like doing one line 100 times,
Oh my
right?
God! Yeah, and it
And
just sounded
cannot
like
tell the
sound,
difference.
Right, it seemed like it sounded the same. It sounded the same, but it did not sound the same to him.
But I will say one thing. We're so grateful that he was like that because it gave us a work ethic that's unmatched. He knew how to pull stuff out of us that we didn't know how to pull out of ourselves. So him being that dedicated to us and being that, caring about how the sound was going to be and what it was going to sound like, he wasn't just like, okay, yeah, that's fine. He's like, no. I know you can do better. So let's do it one more time. And we so appreciate that because without that push, there would have been a very different album.
I didn't appreciate it so much when it was happening. It's wee hours in the morning. And I was like, seriously, you want me to do it again?
I have to agree with Sassy.
I was like, oh, wait, I didn't appreciate it.
But now we do.
Yes, but if I had to ask myself one more time, because in one of her songs, instead of me saying, I had to ask myself, I kept on saying, ask, and he would not go for it. You could not ask yourself. Like, you had to ask yourself. I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Right.
But do you know on Is It Love you still said axe?
Oh, because I swear it was asked.
Okay. And was Eazy rapping at all during this time?
Yes.
He was.
We'd be in the studio. We were working on albums simultaneously. So we were working on JJ Fad album, NWA album, and Eazy-E album all at the same time.
Yes.
We just knew ours was going to come out first.
Okay. Well, you guys re-released a single with Supersonic being the A-side this time
Yes.
with Dre's production,
Yes.
on it as well.
Yes.
And it sells like 500,000 copies?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It was certified
Amazing.
gold, but it eventually went platinum.
Right. Hit number 33 on the Billboard charts.
Yes.
You guys are how old at the time?
I was 15.
15. We were
15?
20.
I was 15.
Aha. So Baby D really, because you're
Yeah, she
5
was-
years younger
yeah,
than everyone
the
else.
baby.
The real baby.
Everybody though,
Yeah.
all the tour, everybody,
Yes.
everybody we toured with, everybody, I was the baby. Yes.
Yeah, it actually was very much higher than 33. It was number one on the hot dance charts from Billboard. So, and then I think it went to number 2 or number 9 on the rap charts.
I mean, it was a hell of a song. That song, I mean, I was living in the Bay at the time, and it was a hit song there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure in LA it was just going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Billboard was the thing. I mean, we stayed on there for a
time.
long time because
We even got plaques.
With a bullet.
I remember like waiting for the countdowns just to see, you know, are we still number one? Are we still number one? You know, or getting because they would send us the copy of Billboard and just rushing to look to see. It was a huge thing back then. You know, now everything's, you know, internet, digital. That's what I say. But yeah, it was huge.
Then you guys do the music video,
Yes.
and that music video was all over Yo MTV Raps and
Yes.
everything else like that. I mean, what was it like to be that young, to be so new to the music industry, and just being on this roller coaster, hit song, music video,
Yes.
and then, you know, the tours and everything else like that?
It was awesome, but I don't think we really understood like how awesome it was until later because it was our first stab at it. You know how sometimes people make different songs and then it's like their 4th or 5th song that hits really big. It was our first. So I think we just thought that's how it goes.
Yeah, I think at that age, you're not thinking about what it means or trying to be famous or trying to have this number one record. You're just doing what you want to do and you're having fun and you're enjoying your sisters with you and enjoying the family of Ruthless. So there wasn't a goal to be quote unquote famous.
Right.
We just were having a blast.
I bet. I bet.
Having fun, spending money. As long as we could do what we want to do, we did it.
Man,
Yes.
man.
Well, DJ Train, he joined later, right? After you
Yes.
guys joined Ruthless?
Yes.
I always found this one verse, you know, this one line kind of interesting. You said, he may be a little light, but that's okay. Was he that much lighter skinned than everyone else?
Oh,
He
yeah.
was light.
Yeah.
Oh, he
You
was
and Baby
light.
D, he was lighter than you?
He's lighter than
Yeah,
me.
he was
bright.
darn
Yeah.
near transparent.
It's so light. It's like red.
He was. Now he was.
Okay, so the album comes out, it goes crazy. I mean, the single goes crazy. How long after the single does the album come out?
I want to say maybe like less than a month, right?
I don't remember.
I don't really remember that either, but
honestly
I know
don't
it was
remember.
less than a month.
Okay,
Yeah,
less than a month.
I don't really remember exactly, but it was pretty quick after the single.
How well does the album do?
It was gold.
The album went gold.
Yeah,
Yes.
certified gold.
Okay, so now you have a platinum single and a gold album.
Yes, and eventually that went platinum as well.
And that went platinum as well. So you guys are off to the races at this point. How long after your project does, the first Ruthless project after that was what, Easy Does It?
It was Eazy-Does It or NWA.
I think it was
One of the two.
I don't remember who
I
came
mean-
out first.
Yeah,
think it was
I remember
NWA.
getting Easy Does It, and then I remember Straight Outta Compton comes out afterwards.
Okay, that's
I
probably
mean,
right.
there was NWA and the
NWA.
Posse came out. Remember that project?
Yeah.
Which had like the Feel of Fresh crew
Yes.
and the DOC was on it and everything. But then that was sort of, there was like a bunch of albums that were sort
It
of
was
convoluted,
a lot of albums.
you know,
coming
kind
out.
of
Yeah.
mushed together during that time.
Exactly.
Okay, because when Easy Does It comes out, then Ruthless really starts to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like kind of being in the middle of all that?
Shoot, we were on tour actually.
Yeah.
It was like they picked us up as soon as our single hit. We went on tour, and from that point, we were touching bases still, but we were out on the
Yeah,
road.
that's true.
we were out on the
we were
road
out a
for a
lot.
long time,
Aha, right. You guys went on the Run DMC Runs House tour.
Yes.
Okay.
and then we went on the Eazy-Does It tour. Right behind it.
But I have to say that going on the Runs House tour, we had this was so interesting to me, kind of being like the little historian, but we were given an option to either go on the Runs House tour or to tour in Japan. And us at our age, knowing how much we love hip hop and we knew we were going to be the only females on that tour, we were like, oh, we'll do the Runs House tour. And Japan was offering more money, but we wanted to be with our peers. So we chose the Runs House tour over the Japan tour.
Nice. Well, you guys actually get nominated for a Grammy. And you guys are the first female rap group to be nominated for a rap Grammy ever.
Yes.
Amazing.
And was that the first year they had the rap category for the Grammys?
Televised, right?
Yeah. No. Period.
Yes.
Period. First rap category.
Well, that's amazing.
Well, you guys get nominated, but Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince win.
Yes.
For Parents Just Don't Understand.
Yes.
Now, I was on the phone this morning with Arabian Prince about it. And he was saying how there was a little bit of, I don't know, something, how should I say this? Some people were upset a little bit in the group because although, Parents Just Don't Understand was a cool song, it wasn't popping like Supersonic.
Yeah.
Supersonic, I feel, was the bigger hit.
Yes.
So how did you feel about losing to, a song that wasn't as big as yours?
I think we were kind of indifferent. I mean, of course, we were young and we wanted to win, of course, but I don't think we ever even vocalized that we were upset or that we were mad, because at the time when the Grammys came, we were on tour with them.
Yeah.
We were so close to them. We were amazingly good friends. So we were happy for them. And of course you want to win, but there was no hard feelings. There was no animosity.
Yeah.
There was no like, oh, we should have won that. There was none of that. The biggest thing for us was being at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all we cared about. We got to bring our parents to the Grammys. We got to ride in a limo. I had us all tuxes made that were they're like tuxedo, but they had mini skirts at the bottom instead of the pants. And we had them rhinestone. So the biggest high for us was just being at the Grammys.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, didn't Public Enemy boycott the Grammys that year?
Everybody boycotted.
All of them.
Except for us and Kool Moe Dee.
Yeah. Jazzy Jeff, even though they won, and the Fresh Prince, even though they won, they boycotted.
They boycotted.
They sure
Really?
did.
Yeah.
But like you said, I've never honestly thought their song wasn't as popular as
Exactly.
Supersonic,
Me too.
because
I
we
never
did the
did
same dates, and they when they came on stage,
Huge.
people was so we
Huge.
never thought oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, our song was bigger. No.
Okay. Now, going on tour, the Run's House tour is one thing, but the Eazy-E tour is something a little different.
Yeah.
Real
A little different. Now, I've heard some crazy stories about Eazy-E personally being on tour, between the girls and the guns and everything else like that. What were some of the craziest things that were happening, with Eazy and NWA during this time?
We see naked women and backstage, they just was ready to give it all to them. Oh my God, yes. We've
Girl with
seen
the
some
banana.
stuff. You can only imagine the girl with the banana. Yes.
What she did with that banana.
Yeah.
He had fake. Well, I don't know if you say fake. He had contracts that I don't think they ever were real contracts for aspiring girls that wanted that were going to be stars.
Wait a minute. So he said,
from. I didn't know that.
wait a minute.
I did not know that.
No, he had.
He basically said, if you sleep with me, I'll give you this
Oh,
contract.
No, you thought you was going to go sing. You thought you was going, okay, let me hear you sing.
Right.
Or whatever.
Let me see your tonsils, in other words. Let me see your vocals, in other words.
I don't even think he had to say that.
Right.
I'm just saying, you said contract, you know what I mean? So,
That's
yes.
Oh, if you sleep with me, I'm I don't even think he didn't have to even
You didn't
say
say
that.
anything.
It was just
Pull out the contract. The rest just falls into place.
It's just, famous,
Yes.
or
Okay.
whichever. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Now NWA was on the tour as well, along with Eazy, right? So were they performing "Fuck the Police" during these dates? Mm-hmm. And I mean, that was a big problem.
At some places.
Some places.
Not all places, but some places, yes.
Okay, so do you remember shows getting shut down, police rushing in, that type of thing?
Yes. We remember that. We also remember being as soon as they would come off stage, we would be rushed to the bus and we would leave immediately. We wouldn't stay after. We wouldn't hang out backstage. We automatically went to the hotel.
And stuff, shows once they came on was shut down before. Yes. Let's go.
Okay, well, you guys drop, you do great. Eazy-E, Easy Does It drops, does 2 times platinum. Strata Compton drops 3 times platinum. DOC drops platinum. Michelle A drops gold. So it's like everything they're putting out is going crazy.
Yes.
You know, what do you see change with Ruthless as they start to get bigger and they have all these successful projects?
They didn't have any time for us anymore, actually. I mean, it's not like they had time, but we would have been pushed back. Like, if you want to wait, Drake could do the next album in about 2 years, you know?
Right.
So it was like, you know, we're already here, we're already established, like, why we gotta wait, you know? But it was just like we kept getting put on the back burner. So, okay, well, let's try to see, you know, if Yella and, you know, Arabian could do something, you know, so we can continue. And it wasn't as big as Dre. We was happy with our finished product, you know, but it didn't really do very well.
Right, because I guess the time Dre was producing Mary J. Blige, Eve.
Yep.
There was like 6 projects
Right.
in the works.
Yes.
And he felt bad. He's like because he knew, because we wanted to stay on that high and ride off that wave for the second album.
Yeah.
So I mean, he felt like he felt bad because he knew that he had already made these commitments to these other artists.
Yeah.
So, and with us being his baby, his very first one, he felt like, you know, he was sorry that he couldn't just jump and do the album, but he'd already made these commitments. So, in that aspect, you know, we're like, you know, it is what it is.
Right. So DJ Yella basically produced the whole album.
And him and
Arabian
Arabian
Prince?
together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't do as well as the first one.
Right.
It had some singles, We the House, Gold, Be
Yeah.
Good to Me, but the singles don't chart
Right.
the way Supersonic charted.
Correct.
Right.
And the album doesn't
Right.
hit
Right.
the same way it does. In between, you guys do We're All in the Same Gang. Great song, by the way.
Yes,
which
it
was
was.
a West Coast version of Self-Destruction.
Right.
Yes.
That happened, which is, you know, kind of a peaceful, you know,
Right.
let's stop killing each other type song.
Yes.
Now, the weird part about it, though, was that when I'm, researching you guys, I'm like, because I remember watching the video and hearing the song, and I'm like, I don't remember the JJ Fad part.
Yes.
Really?
And yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I look up the video,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, nope, it's not there.
Uh-huh.
And then I finally find the original 7-minute version.
Yes.
And then there you go.
Yes.
There's the JJ Fad verse.
Yeah.
Now, I think out of everything that happened, that made me the maddest.
Aha.
And the reason why is because we were on his label. And for you to pick another female group over ours, that bothered me.
It didn't go on his label though. It went on Grand Jury.
No. We were on his label. We were with Dre on Ruthless.
Yeah, but it went
And
on
he
Grand
picked-
Jury. Mike.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he had creative control. He was the producer.
Oh.
So he chose who.
I don't know if he chose.
Oh, he did.
I don't know.
He definitely did.
Because I would have thought my conception because it was his project.
Oh, no.
Was the
But Dre was a producer. I think Mike gave him creative control.
yeah, I don't know.
So,
I don't know about that.
that
She
part,
thinks
just for me,
She
yeah.
thinks because I don't think she's sure, but she thinks.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because he was the producer, so he had creative control. So, but that being said, I mean, at the time, you know, like I said, we're still young and we're still thinking, you know, this is a Ruthless family. This is a family. So why did someone else get chosen over us for that part? But then I had to step back and not be mad because we know Dre and we know that he's going to put the best out there. So obviously our verse wasn't as strong as somebody else's verse was. And that's why those people got chosen. So to me, I had to step back out of myself and not have the hard feelings and understand that Dre's gonna do what's best for the project.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know because I can't say that they were best because I don't think so. I just
Not in
looked
our
at it.
eyes, heck no.
I know. I look at it like they had to cut down the video from what I was told from the jump. They had to cut the video down so it could be shorter, and we just didn't go on. I'd never guess. Dre was the one that did the cutting and all that. I never believed that. So if that's what she heard or that's what she know, then that's what it is. But I never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because there's a lot of people on the song. Like, not everyone. You guys weren't the only ones cut out.
No,
of the
no,
video
we
version,
weren't.
right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, there is King T is on it, Body and Soul, Def Jeff, Michelle A, Tone Loc, Above the Law, Ice T. Dre and Ren,
Right.
you guys, Young MC, Shock G.
Yeah, there's
rest
a
in
lot.
peace. Towns 357. I don't think they made the video
They
version
didn't
either.
make
Yeah,
Body and Soul were the only females.
yeah. MC Hammer, and then Eazy-E
Yes.
closes it out.
Yes.
Hell of a song, by the way.
Oh my gosh,
really was.
love the song. And we also got to do the Arsenio Hall show with the full version. So that was pretty awesome to be part of that whole project.
Okay, so you guys come out, with your second album. It doesn't really do well. And around that same time is when Ruthless starts kind of falling apart as well. Did Ice Cube leave the group before or after your second project?
After.
After. Okay.
Yes.
So
After.
Ice Cube leaves. Eventually Dre leaves. And then right around 1992, you guys break up.
We never broke up.
Never broke up.
No, we just left the music. We just left the music business for a while to raise our families. We were having kids, getting married, and so we took a step back.
Okay.
But we never disbanded. That's what a big misconception is. Oh, you guys broke up. We never broke up.
Okay.
We were still a group. We just didn't do music at that time. We took a pause.
Right.
I mean, everyone has their ups and downs,
Yes.
right? You're not going to be a superstar in the music game forever. you have your moments.
Yes.
You have your hit singles, and then, you have projects that don't do well, but, a lot of people keep going. Okay, the second one doesn't do well. All right, we'll get back and do a third one. We'll do a fourth one. We'll bring new people in. We'll bring new producers in, whatever. Was there a reason why you didn't want to keep going, considering the massive amount of success that you had with the first one?
Family, just our
Yeah.
children. It took a lot of our time. I became a mother, raising my daughter, and then, just mainly,
behind you.
mainly family, mainly our children. We didn't even think like, okay, well, let's go back to the studio. It just seemed like once you lay eyes on your child, your first child, it's like nothing else matter at the time. But we never said, okay, well, let's do another album because we were raising kids. But then now that those kids are older, we're like, you got time to go to the studio? Let's go. So yeah, just raising our children.
Well, according to Arabian Prince, Jerry Heller stole a lot of money.
Okay. First of all, Arabian's always talking for us. But that's our boy. He's our DJ now, as a matter of fact. When we do shows, Arabian's our DJ. We love him to death. But some things that happened to him and happened to us are two totally different things.
Okay,
and some of
so-
the things that he remembers are not what we remember. But we never experienced that from Jerry. The relationship that we had with Jerry was that of like a father and his daughters. He treated us with respect. He told us how much money we were getting, where it was going, what we should do with it. Him and Eric, we opened our first group bank account with them. He watched out for us if we wanted to buy cars. I remember I wanted a BMW so bad. He found the BMW for me at a lower price because he had a friend who was selling his. I mean, he just really took care of us, and we didn't experience that money thing. But, we were the first ones on there and we were girls. And I just think the relationship was different.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I spoke to him this morning about it. And he said, number one, he said flat out, Jerry stole money. He also said that even...
Let me get this out. I'm sorry. Sorry. Let me just speak.
You see me? I'm like,
Before you go, because she next. Okay, so back to what you were asking about Jerry Heller taking money from us. We were young. I can't say that he stole a lot of money from us, but I can say he may have taken money that we didn't know about. By us being young,
operative word.
we didn't feel
That we
like,
didn't know.
okay, we could have been owed 20,000, but we was given 10, and we signed for the 10 because we not knowing. But out of our eyes, watching it growing up, that was fine, So we agreed to whatever he agreed to. Once he made it, smooth it over and sign here. This is what it is. So I don't think we seen it like that. Now maybe Arabian and them knew a little bit more and had more knowledge to it. Like you were supposed to get this, at the time, and that's the only thing that I can say about it. That's really the truth.
And that was the operative word. 'Cause that's exactly what I was going to say. Just that we knew. who
didn't
knew?
know.
Wait, if we didn't know,
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know.
Right.
So we don't know.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
They were, you know, more along the business side. We just trusted.
Right.
You know, we were just like, oh, okay, yeah. And then, and my relationship with Jerry was a little different than theirs. I always had a smart mouth. You know,
Oh, yeah?
you just couldn't tell me that the sky was purple, and I'm looking at it, I'm like blue to me. You know, so you know, if you said something, I was saying it right back. So it was just like a lot of different little things. And Jerry would be like, such and such, Michelle. I'd be like, no, Jerry. You know, and yeah, so it wasn't. we were a little more challenged, the both of us.
Well, when NWA was breaking up, and you know, certain people were blaming Jerry for this. You know, when Ice Cube, you know, left the group and he did No Vaseline. You know, he said, you know, you let a Jew break up my crew, and you know, he always blamed Jerry.
Yeah.
You know, for that. I think Dre blamed Jerry to a certain degree. Eventually, you know, like, what was the video? Like, Fuck with Dre Day, when they had like the fake Jerry Heller, the fake Eazy-E. You know, where he was like, go ahead, boy, go get my money. You know, like, no, I work for you. Like, okay, boss. Like, that type of thing.
Hilarious.
So, I mean, when you were seeing people turning on each other, and, you know, Ice Cube was such a central part in Ruthless. Like, I mean, he was writing for everybody, as well as being what I felt was the top vocalist out of that group. And, you know, later on, Dre, who was the musical genius behind everything. When you saw everyone start to turn and leave, and all the, you know, the bad feelings and the fights and everything else like that, how did you feel since you guys were there from the very beginning?
We, at that point, we were just like everybody else in the public. We were on the outside looking in because we were gone by that time. So when it was all happening, we were like, oh my gosh, did you see that? Do you see what's happening? You know, so we were just as surprised as everybody else because we didn't know it was happening until the world knew it was happening. We were on the outside looking in.
Yeah. Well, 1994, DJ Train actually dies from smoke inhalation.
Yes.
What happened?
He, I don't know if you know, I'm in the medical field. Sassy's in the medical field as well, but sometimes when you get smoke inhalation, you get a little disoriented. And everybody had gotten out of the house that was on fire, but he thought that one of his siblings was still in the house.
Oh.
So he went back in, and everybody tried to stop him. So he went back in to save somebody that was already out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So he lost his life that way.
How'd you feel when you heard that news?
That broke my heart. That broke me down.
Yeah.
They were close.
Yeah.
Baby D and Train were super close. So yeah, she took that. We all took it hard, but she really took it hard.
Yeah, I never heard that story before. So he ran into a burning house to try to save
his
a
own
sibling.
Their home house.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sad.
It is.
That's sad, considering that the person was already out.
Right.
Yeah, such a sad way to
Yes.
really lose your life.
Absolutely.
Sorry
Big loss for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Sorry. Yeah, Baby D, I see her
Thank you.
going through it. I'll give you a moment.
It's okay.
Well, and then the next year, 1995, Eazy-E dies. Were you guys in contact with Eazy-E during this time at all, or not really?
I would still talk to him.
Yeah.
Because whenever, like, if we needed something, we could definitely call him. Like, you know, advice, money, whatever. So we would stay in contact, yes.
It just wasn't all the time, like
Like it was, yes.
When you heard that Eazy was in the hospital with AIDS, and this is not AIDS of 2021, where there's HIV medication, you got Magic Johnson, who is healthier than ever, and you got all these various celebrities who are, I've been HIV positive for 15 years, and I'm healthier than I've ever been. This was 1994, no medications really. You know, if you were HIV positive, you're going to die. And, you know, Eazy, I remember, did an interview with Howard Stern where he said, I never use condoms. And, I mean, Eazy had how many children?
9.
9 children, some of which I think were born after he died.
Oh, I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
Tamika,
She had a baby.
Oh, that's
after
right.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a few kids, I think. I think there was actually multiple kids named Eric as well. I think there's 2 Erics.
Oh, wow.
So I interviewed Lil Eazy.
Yeah.
I think I got Derek and Eric.
Yeah, there's like 2 Erics.
Erica.
And
It's crazy. I used to rest, like, HIV just wasn't part of it. It was just like full blown AIDS. Like, what happened to it? Go to HIV and AIDS? Like that don't happen.
You know, I mean, BG Knockout was a regular on my show, and him and Eazy were super close. I mean, he doesn't believe.
I don't either.
So you think there's some sort of conspiracy?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it wasn't AIDS, but I just don't feel like he got it sexually. I just felt like it happened differently. I just don't feel it. Just that was.
You think he was injected?
I do. No, I do. I do. Yeah. I really do. Some kind of way. I just don't think it was like sexually transmitted, like through him and his wife or whatever. Because like, how is she so healthy and everything
and not positive?
And not nothing, you know. And they had been together a while, you know. It just I don't know. And where is anybody else that had it? You know, somebody gonna say, "Oh, I got it too," or you know, or pass away from it. You're gonna hear it. Oh, she was messing with Eric, Eazy-E, you know. But nobody.
Well, I mean, Suge Knight went on. Was it Arsenio Hall? And he made the joke about you inject him with AIDS, the Eazy-E thing. You know, which I think. When you say the whole injected thing, that's the first thing I thought.
But I don't even think of Suge. I don't. That wasn't it.
You think it was somebody that he hired though, or something?
Nah, I think it was something through the hospital, like something. Really? Not the hospital itself. They had taken. No one could see Eric anymore. No one could see him. You know, like the whole little whoever they had to be there for him. He couldn't see his parents. He couldn't see his kids. He couldn't see Why? You know, I just don't think it went down. I think it was something shiesty behind it.
And so fast.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, when you finally heard the news that he passed away, because remember, he was in the hospital first, and he had put out a statement.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, I've had sex with some of the most beautiful women in the world, and I just want to let all the little homies know that this is real. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit. You know, AIDS is real. You guys need to protect yourself and so forth. And then he dies. And when you heard the news that he passed away, how did it hit you?
Oh, like a ton of bricks.
It did.
Devastated. Devastated. Because then you start thinking of all the things that he did for you. And all, like, if it wasn't for him, there would be no us. Yes, there was an us and we had a record, you know, but when we got with him, he just blew us up into the stratosphere, you know. And with him being, like, our brother, it just felt like a family member died. So it was extremely difficult.
Yeah, I mean, Eazy is one of my favorite all-time rappers, period. I would put him in my top 5.
Yeah.
Period. You know, and I know that a lot of the wizardry behind Eazy was Dre, because originally he didn't even want to rap.
Right.
He was offbeat. But like you guys said, Dre saw the vision.
Right.
You know, he heard the voice and he heard the right beat, and he's
voice.
like, okay, I'm going to put this together and take this non-rapper who's just trying to be an executive and made him the first male rap star on Ruthless Records.
Yes.
And to me, Eazy was always kind of like my favorite one. You'd always wait for the easy part, you know, like all in the same gang. It's Eazy at the end, you know. You always put the hottest dude at the end or the hottest girl at the end, and there was Eazy. And it was such a loss because, you know, he was, he lost NWA, but Bone Thugs and Harmony was going crazy. And, you know, when he dissed, Dre and them on Real Compton City G's, that was a big hit record and so forth. And he was really like on his way. And then there was also word that NWA might get back together. Him and Ice Cube were talking a little bit, and there really could have, if he had lived, I think we would have seen an NWA.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Yeah, such a loss.
Yeah.
Such a loss.
That was devastating.
And really, it's like, when you look at the West Coast as a whole, it really almost kind of started from his family tree. Like, you know, everything that Dre's done, you know, through the Eminems and the Kendrick Lamars and the 50 Cents and everything else like that. And then,
there's a foundation.
Ice Cube, you know, the West Side Connection, and
everything,
you know, and everything else he's done. It's all kind of through that family tree that Eazy initially started. And, you know, listen, you could say, oh, well, Dre was so talented, he would have made it, you know, regardless. But, you know, in the music industry, that's just not true.
Right.
You know, if that one person doesn't see the potential and put the money and effort behind it, Dre could have been a construction worker who was just
It was
would
the
work
magic
on beats at
between
night.
them.
Yeah.
It was the magic
Yeah,
that they had.
you just don't know.
Right.
Talent alone, if you don't get that cosign and that label and that machine behind you, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter how hot you are.
Right.
So, you know, rest in peace, Eazy-E.
Absolutely.
Rest in
Absolutely.
peace, Eazy-E. Well, at one point, you guys actually reunite and start doing shows again.
Uh-huh.
Was there like a reason that made you guys do that?
I think when Fergie did the interpolation of Fergalicious, it kind of brought Supersonic back out to the forefront.
Aha.
And then we started getting calls. Are you
Yeah.
guys doing shows? Or, do you guys want to come out? And we're like, absolutely. We talked and we're like, yeah, our kids are grown. We have time now. We can just jump right back in and start where we left off. So that's what we've been doing ever since, 2005, 2006?
Yes.
Think about that.
So,
Wait, I remember when Fergalicious came out.
yes.
2006.
Yes.
And I remember when I heard it, I'm like, oh, she redid Supersonic.
Yeah.
But she did it well.
Yeah,
She did it really well.
she did.
And it's obviously, a remake, but it's not like a word for word
Right.
remake. It's like she
Right.
took the beat and she took the style and she kind of did her own
Made it her
lyrics,
own.
Yes,
made
she
it her
did.
own.
And everybody called, hey, she stole you guys' beat. You know what? We heard it. We said, you know what? She did us a favor. Thank you. And that song is beautiful. We loved it.
Right. Well, because she had to get permission
Yes.
to sample it.
Yes.
So
And since
she
you
did
guys
still.
were the writers,
Yes.
you had to get permission.
Right.
Yes.
When you first heard the song, what'd you think?
I loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah?
Loved it. Still do.
Okay.
Sure, when Eminem do his little stuff in there, we love that too. Anybody got something to say? Yes.
And that was actually like one of your biggest paydays since originally.
Yes.
How did that feel to suddenly start having all this money come in?
Oh, that was great and right on time.
right on time.
Yeah, no, that was really good. That was, a really big part of it. That was really good. It was unexpected, but also just the resurgence of the song made it all worthwhile.
It did.
I mean, what'd you think of the backlash that she got? People were like, oh, she's, I guess you call her culture vulture these days.
Yeah.
And oh, she took, this black artist music and did her own thing and so forth. How did you guys take it?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, I just think about, like, if you listen to everybody's music, just about everybody's music, they use somebody's beat. People don't know it. Like, you sit with your mama and you hear the song going, your mama think it's her old song. Oh, that's
so
not,
funny.
wait,
Yes.
hold on. That's not them, So everybody used somebody's beat. So it never was like, oh no, that's a problem, so.
I felt bad that she was getting that backlash because we were actually flattered
Yeah.
that she would even think of us. And then when we actually met her at the ASCAP Awards, we got an award for that song. When she told us that our picture was hanging in her office, our poster, and she's been a fan since the 80s, that just was that was amazing. Yeah. So to hear that from her, and the reason why she did that was not to steal, but to pay homage.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Great song.
Yes.
Will.i.am, I think, did the beat.
Yes.
Well, I am.
He killed it.
He did.
He always kills it. So, no surprise here. And Will.i.am, I believe, he was on Ruthless Records at one point.
Yes, he was.
They were signed. What group was
Yeah,
they
it was
were
part of a
signed.
group.
It was part of a group, but I forget
Yeah.
the name of the group. But he was definitely on Ruthless for a minute.
She was too, right?
At Clan. Hold on.
Just him. He had another group.
Hold on. At Band Clan. A tribe beyond a nation.
I don't know.
A hip hop group who was Will.i.am, Apple Diap, and his name was Will 1X at the time.
Oh, okay.
And they were signed to Ruthless Records.
Yeah.
That's
At the
dope.
hold on, where were they signed? They were signed in 1992.
Wow.
I didn't know.
They
that.
showed up on Eazy-E's EP 5150 for the
okay.
Sick. So that was, you guys were already kind of gone by that time?
Yeah, that was after us.
Right. So I mean, it's kind of interesting how it's almost like a
That
full circle.
is.
It's like
Yeah.
there's this guy who was signed to Ruthless that
Yes.
goes and samples a
That
Ruthless
is
Yeah.
classic, and then for
Yeah.
his new group with the girl, and boom, like
Yeah.
That's great.
crazy. And, and a lot of other people kind of either sampled or referenced you guys. MF Doom
Yes.
sampled the beatbox intro Supersonic on I think Hoe Cakes.
Yes.
Oh,
Rest in
we did
peace,
that
Son of
one.
Doom.
Yes, and actually used the voice on the super part. It was actually our voice as well.
I mean, Beastie Boys referenced Supersonic on Too Many Rappers. Eminem
Yes.
referenced you guys on Rap God.
Yes.
Missy.
Missy. You guys showed up on Dance Central 3.
Yes.
You guys showed up on, and this is like obvious, but the Sonic movie.
Yes.
one of the trailers. I watched it this morning where I was like, yeah, Supersonic. Okay, that's
was dope.
obvious.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't a big stretch for them to use this one.
Right.
And I mean, for all that, I mean, you guys were getting royalties and everything else like that, which is why it's so important to write your own music,
Absolutely.
to have your publishing. Do you guys own the masters at all, or?
No. We have our own publishing though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember, one of the other things that Arabian Prince said was that even to this day, there's some issues with Ruthless Records trying to get the money owed and everything else like that. Is that part true?
That's absolutely true.
Yes.
Okay. Explain.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He said explain.
It's so hard to explain. I would say that there's a 1988 contract out there in the Ruthless stratosphere that Tamika owns. That contract. That contract it's not valid. It was signed by a minor without parental consent. That's first thing. Second thing is they're trying to hold us for a lifetime, which is just like, who signs a contract for a lifetime? You know what I mean? So it's like, there's just a lot of inconsistencies and irregularities and things that just are not valid to try to hold us to a contract.
Okay.
Which they're still trying to do.
I mean, when Eazy died and Tamika took over, was that when the problem started to occur?
To be honest with you, we didn't know it was a problem. I mean, we had a 10-year anniversary party.
Right. It was.
And she invited us, reached out to us. We all came. Everything was fine. After that, no, everything disappeared. Like no royalties, no nothing. Like everything just kind of shut down after that. No explanation. Can't talk to her on the phone. Can't. There's no communication. There's nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I remember I had a little Eazy-E, on my show. And, he just talked about how, his dad was worth tens of millions of dollars at the time that he passed. And, a lot of his kids really don't have anything. He even told me a story about how, I think he took his kids to the doctor and found out he didn't have health insurance anymore. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the Eazy-E, kids are not all balling and living in mansions and are taking advantage of everything that the dad has done. Now, granted, there's a lot of different mothers and everything else like that, but essentially Tamika took over everything. And, I'm not going to say what she did or didn't do is legal or whatever else, and I remember, little Eazy even told me, he said, well, the time that Eazy passed, she was the only one that was really qualified to take over. I mean, his parents were too old, and knew nothing about the music industry. Like they were pretty much just whatever.
Yeah.
So she was the only one that kind of had some sort of music industry knowledge. So she was a logical step. But then there was, apparently they got married on his deathbed.
Yeah.
There's that.
Then there's that.
And was that a valid signature as a person's dying of AIDS?
Right. And unconscious.
Probably unconscious, yeah. I mean, did he actually sign
And
it
just
or not?
sign because sign here. Do you actually know what you're signing? I mean, you could have just been, your signature was legible, as the judge said, but do you know what you were signing?
Right. I mean, you're days away from dying of AIDS.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You're clearly not in your complete mental state by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's where some of the anger and the bitterness and everything else like that comes from.
Because nobody was allowed to see him. She wouldn't let anybody in. So if it was the way that they depict it to be, why couldn't somebody see him? Why couldn't his kids, just his kids, go in?
His parents.
Forget anybody else. Yeah.
His own parents couldn't see him.
At one point, they couldn't.
Oh, wow.
There was no explanation as to why. It just was a lot of
mystery and
that's the best word. Mystery surrounding it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, 2015, Straight Outta Compton comes out. You guys are not in it.
How could you do a Straight Outta Compton movie without JJ Fad? I just don't understand it. How you gonna do a movie when we opened the doors for Ruthless Records? I mean, you could have just mentioned JJ Fad. Like, you could have just had even an album on the wall. Just show something, in the office.
Anything.
You didn't even have to say
it. And she's so right. There was a point in the movie where Jerry is talking to Eazy and he's saying, don't worry if they're gone. You still have the DOC. You still have Miss Chalet. You still have Above the Law. That would have been the perfect time to say you still have JJ Fad, but nothing. So to not even think enough for 2 seconds to say someone who actually started the label is crazy to me.
It is.
Well, Sassy, you had an interview. You said you were told that Tamika Wright was ultimately in control of the narrative, and there was a rumor going around that anyone who pushed back against her would be ostracized from the film.
That's what we were told. Exactly what we were told.
Yes.
Okay. And the whole thing was, and the way that they said it was that it wasn't a factual representation. It was more for entertainment. So she could just pretty much say what she wanted or write what she wanted, which is what happened. Because there were scenes that she was in. Did you see her?
No, like she wasn't even a thought.
Nobody knew. We didn't know her.
She wasn't.
We did not know her. So how
That was weird.
so all of a sudden,
when did you come
there
to
were
the
all these
studio?
scenes in the studio and stuff like that. We were like, when was that? So
And myself, I tried to reach out to somebody from NWA that was going to the movie shoot. Like, I want to ride with you. I want to see, Oh, no, they shut me down. We wasn't allowed. For what reason? I don't know. We still don't know. What is the beef? What is the problem? We don't know.
Well, I mean, there's so much drama around the film. Yeah. The biggest of which is Suge Knight showing up at the, in Compton.
Yeah, but this was before Suge even did that. Like, this was
Right.
before that. Like, I've reached out to someone that I thought, okay, we could ride together, da-da-da. Like, and he was like, all right, I'm going to talk to some people and I'll get back to you. And
Never got back.
it's just weird. I mean, I wasn't even thinking on the lines of, they didn't just want us to be there or nothing. But it was just
Never
like, dang,
think
I
that.
guess not, though,
Yeah, I mean, and later on, Dre did the Defiant Ones, and he included you guys.
Yes.
In that.
Yes.
And do you think that was almost like hey, sorry for not putting you in the movie?
Absolutely.
That was just, I'm telling the truth.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
not, I'm
Absolutely.
sorry for not including you. That was just, let me tell y'all how this
That
started.
really went down.
Yes.
But I consider it as a let me make it up to them type moment.
Yeah.
Because I know that for a fact that wasn't the way that he wanted that to go, the Straight Outta Compton movie. But like I said, other people had creative control. So it was what it was. But for him to do that and then circle back around and do Defiant Ones and make sure that we were mentioned was amazing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he even put D. Barnes into the Defiant Ones.
Right.
And talked about how he kicked her down the stairs. Or
Right.
Whatever he did.
It's a mess. I swear.
Yeah.
Did you guys know D. Barnes?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
When you heard the news of Dre putting his hands on her, what'd you think?
I didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it either. I was shocked.
I was shocked. Well, I mean, when it all came,
Yeah.
like, oh shoot, he did,
Yeah,
but
it's true.
At first,
Yeah.
but when it was said, like, really?
no.
Like, oh no, but yeah, it happened.
I mean, I had Michelle A on the show, and she went into extreme detail over the abuse. Even, I mean, not only getting beat up all the time by him, but also she went into a story about how he pulled out a gun and shot at her.
Well.
And it hit the door right next to her head. You know what I'm saying? Did you guys see any of that?
Not one iota.
Not one iota. He was just a cool guy making the beats.
Yeah.
It just blows me away. It blows, especially that type of story. I'm like, wow, that's deep.
That is.
That's crazy.
And it
Never seen that
and
side
we
of
were in
it.
the studio all the time and didn't see anything.
Yeah. Michelle
Not
A.
saying that it didn't happen.
No,
Because
exactly.
We always
We
will believe
definitely
a
not.
woman's story.
We definitely
So we're
not saying that.
that.
Yeah. No, not
but
at
just
all.
saying, like, when you ask, did we see anything? We saw nothing.
It's that type of thing because you're like, whoa, wait, to see one side, but we all know you can say this and do something totally different.
Right.
So
But
that's
that's
where it
not the
comes
Dre
from.
that I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and to be fair, Michelle A. is not exactly a saint either. I mean, she ended up having a baby with Suge and Dre.
So, actually,
We're not gonna go there.
You know,
That's our girl. So we have a show with her tomorrow. So
yeah, I'd also heard some rumors about other relations she had, which, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, listen, was she justified or she's not justified? It is what it is. Relationships are complicated.
boom, life is.
You know, life is complicated.
Life is.
You know, Dre was obviously not a saint either. You know, he's going through his own divorce now and dealing with his own set of issues. But, I mean, regardless of all the drama and everything else like that, what you guys put together was phenomenal.
thank you.
It was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just the fact that even to this day, you know, the song is being sampled in new, you know, theatrical release, big budget films like Sonic.
Right.
You know, you have, you know, when Fergie redid the song, she was at the top of her game already.
Yes.
It wasn't like that song made her.
Yes.
Like, she was already on fire with
Yes.
Black Eyed Peas
Right.
and her own
Right.
solo stuff and everything else like that. It just shows how when you create timeless music, it'll continue to really be relevant
Yes.
decade after decade after decade, which is what you guys have experienced. And you can still tour off of it and you still get your publishing and you know, and everything else
Which
like
is
that.
such a blessing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the song still.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. It still gives me hype.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know,
funny
you're
how,
going
like she
hey.
said, she love it. I love it, and kids love it now.
Yes.
It's funny that like the new kids, you know, our children is kind of used to it now, but the ones under them know now, and it's just
Because of
funny
the
how
Sonic
they know
movie.
it. Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So our biggest thing now, what we're doing is we're trying to be the spokespersons for the Sonic the Burger, you know, the restaurant, the drive-in.
Oh.
So and a lot of our fans have been putting videos together, driving up to Sonic, saying, "Do you have the JJ Fad Burger?" They're like, "Huh?"
It's fun.
So
Makes perfect sense.
They actually reached out to us
They did.
on
Yeah.
Instagram, and they said, "Hey, we've seen your TikTok videos, we've seen the fan videos," and they said, "We're very interested. You've got us convinced." They said, "Let's chat." So we're hoping to hear from them again, and we haven't heard much since. We've given them our information, and they're trying to figure out exactly how they want to use us.
Nice.
But we're super excited. So that was so cool.
Yeah. And you guys are still on tour.
Yes.
Still doing shows.
Yes.
I mean, how does it feel? I mean, this is what? 40 years later?
Don't be that saying.
35 years later?
You put 10 years on it.
We
Hold on, 30 years? Hold
We
on.
are not a bit over 30.
Right. You guys are perfectly 30. But I'm saying, you know, because, wait, Supersonic came out what year?
88.
88. So, yeah, 30-something years later.
Like I said,
30-something years later.
But that's a blessing. It's so great.
Yes.
It's amazing. I mean, I feel so excited about it. You know, we're doing a show tomorrow. It's like, hey,
not everyone can say that.
No.
Regardless, you know.
and, you know,
yeah.
now they just said in the car that United has a new supersonic jet. Let's talk to them. Let's do it.
Anybody
Let's strike.
Yeah. It's funny because it's actually the fans, the people on social media. They're like, "Oh, we wrote United Airlines and told them they better use you for their supersonic jet
Hey,
commercial." We're like,
let's
"Oh my gosh,
do
you guys
it.
are crazy, but we love it."
Let's get it.
Yes.
No, I mean, I want to hear some more remakes.
Yeah,
along the way.
right, right.
I can see future remaking, calling it like Super Toxic or something like that.
Super kids. I got super kids.
Or even somebody that super salad. Huh.
Somebody did that.
Somebody said I
It's
smoke
funny.
chronic. You know,
It's been all
There
kinds
you
of
go.
stuff.
yeah. I mean, it could be flipped.
Hey, listen,
There you
I'm
go.
open to anything.
Well, JJ Fad, I mean, congrats on your success. Congrats
Thank
on still
you.
sticking together as a group.
Thank
Because
you.
I'm sure that part's not easy either. You know, I
We
mean,
love each other. I'm telling you. Like, everybody has their
Seriously.
ups and downs, but we're
Yeah.
super close.
Seriously.
Super close. Yeah, because we've learned as the years go by how to talk to each other and how to manage disagreements and
Yes.
how to agree to disagree.
Right.
yeah.
And how to, just come together in love.
Yes,
And
that's
I
true.
think with all of us being Christians and loving the Lord first and knowing that this here was God made, we were all meant to be together, that how dare we mess that up?
It's good.
There you go. There you go. Well, I appreciate you coming in and much success. You know,
Thank
you guys
you.
are still doing your thing.
Thank
Still
you.
touring. You know, the song is still popping. I mean, congrats on everything.
Thank you so much.
Until next time.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My honor.
Oh, that
Until
was
next time.
Jays.